What happens when you get into debt?
I'll do what I want. I will punch you clean through that window.
And you can't.
You think you can tear my family apart?
Or won't pay it back.
I can't pay it.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits.
Get out of here! So somebody's gonna get hurt.
Dealing with desperate debtors.
I haven't got $3 grand.
In dramatic situations.
Get out of here!
Please open the door.
We meet the people who are losing their homes.
I've got kids. This is really ridiculous.
Okay, calm down.
And their possessions.
That's fine, because I just list everything and we'll take it.
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay,
Get your hands off of me.
they'll take it away. Over the last 6 years, there's been a huge increase in cash flow difficulties faced by UK businesses. 100,000 county court judgments were issued against businesses in England and Wales last year. Delroy Anglin and his son Dale are High Court enforcement agents.
This is what I should take a session then?
Yeah.
What do I know?
I don't know. What do you know?
They travel hundreds of miles each week, collecting debts and seizing goods.
Okay, Dale, what have we got?
We've got a company called Creative Printer. Couldn't find anything online about them. Found a website, but we can't find anything to confirm an address.
Today, they're on their way to a printing company in East London to collect a debt of nearly £2,000 owed to a dissatisfied customer.
Yeah, look, Creative Printer.
House.
If the owner of the company, Mohammed Rahman, can't or won't pay today, the agents have the right to seize company assets to offset the debt.
Hello, looking for a Creative Printer? Hello, buddy. High Court enforcement agent. Just need to speak to the boss. Is he here? Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's fine. See you, mate. See you. Hello, you the boss?
Yeah.
How you doing? My name's Dale Anglin. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Okay.
I've got a High Court writ against Creative Printer. I'm here for the sum of £1,971 and 7 pence.
Okay.
Are you able to make that payment, sir?
We are talking about this one with a court.
What, are you disputing it?
Yeah.
Even though Mr. Rahman is disputing the case, the agents are duty-bound to enforce the writ here today.
What's the dispute about then?
She printed a business card. Yeah, she printed a business card.
Yeah, this is
This is what we printed.
Yeah.
As per the color, but she wanted this one, and we said, hang on, if you give us yellow color, you will get yellow color. If you give us like this color, you will get it like this color. You know what I mean? Then she took us to the court.
In spite of his argument with the claimant, Dell needs Mr. Rahman to understand that he must settle his debt today.
what happens is the money, when you pay it to us, stays with us, right? Whilst you do this, and you go to court, and the judge is the referee. If the judge decides that you're in the right, you will get the money back. If the judge decides that she's in the right, you will lose the money.
But Mr. Rahman isn't interested.
A dispute not to pay this.
It's a small amount in relation to what you do, right? The easiest way would be to pay this amount.
I can't pay that.
You can't or won't?
I can't pay that straightforward because we are in a process with disputing this one.
Dell tries again to get Mr. Rahman to settle the debt.
We don't get involved in disputes. We carry out the court's instructions. If you would rather this disruption, it doesn't make sense to me, but if you don't want to pay it, we have to remove goods.
Nothing is creative printers.
You'd have to prove that to me.
What do you want me to prove?
I'd have to see the proof for everything, who owns everything in here.
Yeah, it's Creative Distribution UK Limited.
After refusing to pay, Mr. Rahman claims that none of the assets in the factory are owned by Creative Printer, the company named on the writ. but by Creative Distribution Limited. But Dale is suspicious.
What do they do?
Who?
Creative Distribution UK Limited.
Creative Distribution is the printing company, and creativeprinter.co.uk is the website who sells stuff.
You advertise your company as Creative Printer. Everywhere outside it says Creative Printer. It's the same thing.
No.
I'm telling you, you can battle it out in court when I remove goods from here. I'm not going to battle it out in court.
Nothing is owned by Creative Printer.
The agents need to see hard evidence that Mr. Rahman is telling the truth and that there are two separate companies.
You need to produce every piece of paper, whatever it is you want to do,
That's what I said.
to
Which
go
one
and
you,
do.
Carl says server. I will show you the server belongs to.
Well,
I'm not going to go through every. What about this one? What about this one? What about this one?
We're just
because
gonna take it.
I need to see it for everything in here. Whose is the server? Yeah, I need to see it. I need to see the proof.
Show me the receipt.
Yeah, for everything, please.
people often try to put you off the scent when dealing with a business. We have to be dogged, we have to be diligent, we have to sort of dig in there. The change of names, a different company being set up. Part of our job is to investigate and have a look and see if you do have assets.
I'm not going to sit here all day and wait for your receipts. This is one item. How much items do you think we're going to take for this bill? And I'm not going to sit here all day and wait for it.
The agents have now been at the factory for an hour and a half. And so far, Mr. Rahman has only provided one receipt for the assets on site.
Yours.
Computer receipt, I can't show.
You can't show me.
I can get it from the accountant office saying that all this property belongs to you.
I don't want a letter from the accountant. I want a receipt.
Yeah.
No worries, we need to shut these down, guys. We need to start unplugging all the computers. I've been here a long time and we've got nowhere.
Dale decides to turn up the pressure.
I'm closing them.
No, fine.
I'm closing them. We're removing goods from here, so please don't do that.
I'm saying no.
I'm telling you we're taking stuff.
No.
We are.
No.
We're removing goods from
We're
here.
going to have a problem.
I'm saying you cannot take
I'm
it.
telling you we are
No, no,
taking it.
Mr. Rahman decides to take action.
You are playing with me.
No, we are taking
you
it.
are,
No,
you
no,
are asking me to
you're playing. You're
You're
playing.
asking
not
me to
supplied
show,
anything.
and now you are just taking it. That's not
Because
fine.
you haven't supplied anything.
Depends.
Get your hands off me.
This premises is belongs
Get your
to.
hands off me.
No,
Get
you-
your
you
hands off of me.
You hold me. Listen.
No, I ain't listening. I've had enough of
We've been
you.
here for hours listening.
If you are breaking it, it's gonna be trouble.
I've asked you to move, right? Yeah, get it on video camera. Move.
Resisting the agents carrying out their duties is a criminal offence.
Why are you stopping us?
You are not giving me chance to take.
We've given you a chance. We've been here for hours. You're not
right.
listening.
No.
Let the police come and we just empty it. I've had enough of all this. All you've done is what has caused botheration and problems.
Please.
With tempers rising, Dale calls for police backup.
There's a High Court enforcement agent. I'm carrying out a High Court writ at premises. We've started removing goods, but they're obviously obstructing us and trying to grab us to stop us taking anything.
I've seized it.
Yeah, you
right?
can seize it.
I can.
Company.
I'm taking it.
You cannot seize any other company.
I can. You are resisting us, right?
You are holding my stuff.
It's not your stuff. We are taking it.
No, you cannot take it.
Move from there.
No.
With Mr. Rahman refusing to back down, Dale and Dell are in a potentially threatening situation. Will they be able to keep things under control until the police arrive? High Court enforcement agents Dell and Dale Anglin were in Canning Town, East London, to collect a debt of nearly £2,000 owed by a printing company to a dissatisfied customer.
I can't pay that.
You can't or won't.
Company director, Mr. Rahman, claimed all the assets were owned by another business, Creative Distribution.
Nothing is owned by Creative Printer.
He refused to pay and tried to stop the agents when they tried to seize goods.
Why are you stopping us?
You are not giving me chance to take.
We've given you a chance. We've been here for hours. You're not listening.
No.
So they called for police backup.
Please.
Now the agents must try and calm the situation down and continue to seize goods to offset the £2,000 debt. But Mr. Rahman is still obstructing the agents.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
What are you doing?
Why are you doing that?
If you're doing like
Why are
this-
you doing that? I was standing there. He pushed me.
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
No.
Gonna jump in, are you?
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I'm getting you off me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Please. Thank you. Please stop grabbing me.
Look, behave.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing
What are you doing?
He doesn't want you to take the computer.
Well, we have to take it
Why are
because
you
he doesn't
doing
want to pay it, does he?
Why are you doing
Well, it's not our problem.
Mr. Rahman is still claiming the assets on site belong to a different company, Creative Distribution, and not Creative Printer, named on the writ.
Why are you grabbing
It
me?
says creative distribution. Okay,
Grabbing.
look at that. It says
Please.
creative distribution.
Okay, it's a nice sticker.
Thank you
Have you got
very
the
much.
receipts
Thank
for
you
the
very
stuff in here? Please.
Why can't he behave?
No, you didn't behave.
Manhandling
No.
who? For what reason? Why would you
It's
manhandle
my
me?
premises. I can stand here.
Stand there. Stand there. Crack
Stand
on.
there then.
Okay.
You're welcome to stand there.
Okay. It's my premises.
Don't be pushing on us. Stand. If you're going to stand there, stand there.
Please. Doesn't make any sense what you're doing. Doesn't make any sense.
It's a stalemate. But then the police arrive.
It's to do with a breach of peace upstairs. When we started seizing items to remove, obviously, there was a big obstruction. There's obviously grabbing us and trying to drag us away from the computers and stuff.
It is a problem with another company, nothing to do with this company. The company they came in for, that's just a website.
From the minute I got here, I said to you, I need the receipts. That's what I said to you from the minute I've got here. And you've shown me one.
They cannot take someone else's stuff.
No, but you have to prove to me whose stuff it
I
is.
did.
They have a legal right to obtain properties from here,
Okay.
whether you agree with it or not. And they need to do their job, don't they? Any disputes that you have needs to go to court, Mr. Rahman.
Mr. Rahman is still adamant he won't pay. He now decides to film the police with his mobile phone.
And you guys are not doing anything, even though we call you, it's a trespass, as well as they're taking wrong company stuff.
Mr. Rahman, you're not listening, are you?
Dell's patience is being stretched to the limit.
He's threatened a breach of the peace. We are going to remove. And if he obstructs me again, you'll have to arrest him. That's all he's been doing all day.
So you're going to remove another company's property?
I'm going to remove that. You haven't satisfied me as to who owns that. So I will. Don't start again. Don't
Look at
start
that.
again.
Look, Mr. Officer.
Don't start
Look at that,
again.
Mr. Stamp. Look at that.
They're going to take you. They're going to take you away, mate.
So they are taking another company. Even look.
Mr. Rahman, come in, please.
Let's just give you a friendly word of warning.
If your behaviour continues, persist to prevent them in their job, we're going to be forced and have no choice but to arrest you for breach of peace. And believe me, you don't want to do that.
I will not pay a single penny, which is unfair.
Okay, well, that's your choice.
We've gone through this with him. It's not unfair because he has the option to get the money back. Pay it, right? And we leave, and you go to the judge with your argument, and you have your argument. No, you've said too much. Are you going to pay it or not?
Come and talk then. Let me talk to you.
Suddenly, Mr. Rahman wants to talk to Dale in private.
I can't do anything until this is paid. A debit card. Try. I don't know if you want to make some calls, see if anyone can help you pay this amount. But I don't, like I said,
I did not even pay anyone's wages.
The truth about Mr. Rahman's situation finally emerges.
We've been struggling last few months, and there is no money. I can show you the bank account if you don't trust.
The agents have been at the factory for 4.5 hours.
Some solution.
There's nothing we have to remove you. We have to. There's no money, so we have to. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah, just wait another few moments. I just made a couple of calls.
Yeah. Cool.
Finally, Mr. Rahman is starting to raise some money.
You got what, sir?
Another 300.
So you're at how much? 800 now.
He offers the agents £885, nearly half of the money owed.
How are you paying the 885? Card?
Couple of calls.
How much in this one?
385.
7.
But it's not him, it's his employees who are having to stump up the cash.
And the other one, 500 and the other one.
All of this is unnecessary and could have been avoided. But in my experience, the lesser amounts that we have to collect cause the most aggravation. They would lose more money by not working a day, the company that is, than if you paid this, go to court and put your case in front of the judge.
The agents decide to give Mr. Rahman 48 hours to raise the rest of the money he owes.
So you need to call. That's what needs to be paid. 2 days. Mohammed, I'm going. See you later.
5 hours after they first arrived, the case is resolved for now. But if Mr. Rahman doesn't pay the £1,100 still owed within 2 days, the agents will be back. There are nearly 5 million self-employed people in the UK. However, they earn on average 40% less than company employees. Research has shown that the self-employed had an average debt of nearly 20 times their income. Enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in Freckleton, North Lancashire, to collect a debt of just over £785 owed by a barber's shop in unpaid rent.
I think it's going to be a dead giveaway when we walk in that we don't need a haircut today.
If the owner, Lindsay DeSanti, can't or won't pay, the agents can seize goods to cover the debt today.
Do you think it's the one called the Village Barbers?
It is indeed.
Oh, someone's in, having a cut, they're going to get
Interrupted.
It's a nice little village, though. Hello there, you okay?
Yeah.
We've been sent in by the landlords.
By the landlord?
Yeah, with regards to outstanding rent.
Oh, no. I'm this.
Well, it is what it is, I'm afraid.
Where from? Show me the proof of outstanding rent.
Well, the landlord's instructed us to collect that amount.
Well, you get him. Get that knobhead on the phone.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take
I want
control
the
of goods.
proof of this outstanding rent then.
Well, have you paid it?
What, my rent? Yes, it's paid every single week.
Lindsay insists she's fully up to date with her rent payments, but the documents say otherwise.
So we're here now to collect a balance.
Well, you've not given me any notice. For what? You've not given me any notice.
Oh, after I've been sent here.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
It has done, or else we wouldn't be here. I can understand it's a little bit stressful, okay? I completely understand. I do. But you can see it from our point of view, you've been instructed by the landlord to collect an outstanding balance.
Are you going to make payments? We'll be on our way, you see.
I'm not dealing with you, right? I want to know where the proof is that I've not paid that.
Lindsay calls her dad for help.
Dad, I need you at my shop ASAP. I've got bailiffs here saying I've not paid my rent. I need you here ASAP. I've got customers in. Yeah, switch me on. I need the proof. We need the proof, Dad.
I'm Lindsay's dad. Now, what's the problem?
We've been sent in by the landlord with regards to outstanding
He's
rent.
not the landlord. He's not the landlord.
Right, well, who is he then?
He's an agent.
You don't pay rent by
Oh, there we go then,
debit.
yeah, so he's been sent in by himself. So, for some reason, the rent hasn't been paid or there's been a miscommunication somewhere. We're here to collect an
Can you just, I'll be there in about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. Can you hang on for me?
Yeah, okay, no problem at all, sir. We'll see you shortly.
Get him out of the shop.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You might want to charge your phone, it's on 1%.
The thing with smaller communities is it's the embarrassment factor. When you walk into a little business and you've got 2 high court enforcement agents there, you know within 5 minutes the whole village is going to know about it. So have you got proof that you paid for the last 3 months?
No,
If you pay weekly.
Yes, every week.
What's your rent a week?
100.
100 a week?
Yeah.
Lindsay still insists that she is up to date with her rent. Stuart needs to get to the heart of the matter.
Hi Andy, it's Stu, mate. You alright? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, she said, look, I'm paying it every week.
You've not got any proof to say that I haven't paid it.
And how long have you been here then?
How long have I been here?
Yeah, in the shop.
5 years.
Okay.
So you're saying I've missed 11 weeks?
600 pounds plus fees.
Fees?
Yeah, to collect this money. You cut hair for free.
Stuart comes back with news from the office.
Right, we've had a statement sent through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 weeks that hasn't been paid. That's why it's 600 quid. But then obviously there's costs on top of that, sadly. You must know, if you haven't been paying your rent, that this was going to happen.
I do feel sometimes sorry for defendants, you know, especially if it's their livelihood and their business, and you can see they've been working hard at it. But on the other side of the coin, if you're not paying your rent, you don't leave the landlord stroke claimant any choice in this matter. So we will come knocking on your door.
The agents have been in the shop for a quarter of an hour. So far, Lindsay hasn't made any offer of payment. The agents decide to turn up the pressure.
Everything in the shop belongs to you. Leather couches, everything.
Yeah. Well, this right up, you're not taking it, are you?
Well, if I don't get payment,
Is there anything in the back here, Vic?
No, not really.
You're not removing anything.
Well-
I'm not saying I've got all in my arse.
Right.
It's fine. We don't have to remove anything as long as they are full balance being paid.
Lindsay's father arrives.
You alright?
Hello there.
Mr. Jackson.
That's me?
Yes.
Right. So, what was saying?
The 6 weeks of rent hasn't been paid, and the one from last week, which has obviously been up to date now. Okay.
Last week's gone.
Right.
So that's the total amount. So the total amount is
£1,104.
£1,104 in total.
Because of additional fees, the amount of money Lindsay now owes has increased by over £300.
The trouble is, going back a lot of years, there's history between the landlord's agent and Lindsay. He's a vindictive he's a vindictive, well, he is as well, but he's a vindictive gentleman. And he's been looking for something like this to hit Lindsay since they took over. Lindsay used to rent a flat from him. She had 2 little children at the time. The idiots of the village started lighting fires at the bottom of the stairs. So Lindsay moved out. She couldn't get 3 months' notice with people lighting fires at the bottom. He took Lindsay to court and he won.
So it costs us a fortune then?
Yeah. This is an ideal opportunity for him to just try and put another nail in her coffin.
Well, yeah.
Despite the long-running dispute with her landlord's agent, the debt must be settled today, one way or another.
I'm happy about paying it all.
Just calm
I've
down.
been paying it all, no.
Just calm down, Lindsay. Now, how do you want me to pay you?
It needs to be the cash
Or debit.
or debit card.
I can get to the building society,
Yeah.
but it will take me 3/4 of an hour.
What time is it now?
If you want to make an appointment to come back later, that's fine by me.
We won't be leaving here until the money's collected.
Right, that's fine.
So we can wait until about 10:15.
Right,
That's
I'm
not a
on my
problem.
way now.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem at all.
please wait. Lindsay, we will have a meeting with the owners and we'll sort it
I'm not
out.
going to meet with Sam Ruby, I'm not going to meet with that knob.
Right, okay, look.
You'll sort it out. Yeah, no problem.
Lindsay, just sit down, calm down, leave your clothes sign on for now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
See you later.
The agents have given Lindsay's father a 45-minute deadline to get the money. All they can do now is wait.
I suppose people talk and things like that, don't they?
It's a village life.
Yeah. I live in a village myself and it's can't do anything.
What's far enough people
Yeah. How's business been going anyway? Has it been alright? No. She obviously is struggling at the moment. It's clear from that, by the way she's acting. If there is bad blood between the lettings agent, don't give them any excuses.
Shortly before the deadline, Lindsay's dad returns.
It is £1,104, sir. And we'll do you a receipt for the cash.
There's 1,000 there.
He pays the debt off in full.
Sorted. Right.
Okay?
Here's your receipt, sir. Alright.
Okay?
See you later.
Thank you. No worries, mate.
The agents have got the result they needed. But for Lindsay and her father, the dispute is far from over.
There's 2 sides to every story. Lindsay's at fault by missing a rent payment, but the thing is, why have they not communicated with me? I am joint tenant with Lindsay on this property.
His shop is literally half a mile down the road. In the village, yes.
And the
He
village...
drives past every day. Surely, if there was a problem,
Call in, don't you?
not a phone call, nothing at all.
She was obviously very shocked when we first walked in, saying that she always pays, it's always up to date, And then when we showed her the statements, she kind of changed her tune a little bit, so she knew she was pulling the wool over our eyes. Or trying to even, yeah. But at the end of the day, father comes to the rescue.
Stuart and Vic have got a result in a difficult situation. But in Brian and Dell's next case,
do you appreciate how distressing this is for us?
they meet a debtor whose case must be handled with great care.
Making me ill!
I'm not making
Stress
you ill.
triggers off my illness!
Why?
According to a government report, bereaved families in the UK are finding it harder to pay for a funeral for their loved ones. 45% of Britons have made no provision for their funeral after they pass away, with typical costs ranging from £3,000 to £7,000. High Court enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin are in Bedfordshire, chasing a debt of nearly £2,000 owed to a funeral director.
Del, what we got next, mate?
We're going to see Miss Karen Hilborn Game in Milton Keynes. She owes £1,751.53.
The debtor, Karen Hilborn Game, originally owed just over £800 after failing to pay the full cost of her mother's funeral. But legal and High Court fees have now more than doubled that amount. The sensitive nature of the debt means the agents will need to handle this case with care.
Hello. How are you? My name's Brian. I'm from the High Court. I'm looking for Karen Hilborn Game. Please. Is she here?
Yeah, she's behind.
Hey, can I speak to her, please? Hello.
Hi.
How are you? I've got a High Court writ made against you for monies outstanding.
Oh, you mean the for her mother's funeral? Well, we've actually contacted him several times.
Right.
Offered some money.
Okay.
He's refused it every time. I've got an appointment.
Well, you need to deal with this. High Court can't wait for your appointment to deal with it.
I'm quite disabled at the moment.
Okay, what's your
I don't look it.
what's your
That's why
disability?
I'm going for treatment to help me with my. She has fibromyalgia.
So how can we get it resolved?
I've been trying to resolve it because I deal with her finances.
Okay.
She's my wife.
Okay.
I'm her carer. Her mother died after we cared for her.
Sorry to hear that.
Through terminal cancer.
Okay.
We paid all of her funeral up front because
Okay.
she was dying of cancer, we knew that.
Okay.
He then charged us an extra £450 to view her dead body in the morgue.
I appreciate the circumstances. Yeah, it's clearly difficult. Yeah, and we understand that. The problem we've got, we have to work upon the High Court writ.
I told him we are more than happy to pay him £20 a month. He didn't want
He
that.
doesn't have to accept that.
No, I know he doesn't, but I can't afford to give him any more. I'm her carer, she's disabled, unfortunately can't work.
Okay, I understand she's disabled, right?
Yeah, but so why
I understand
are
that.
you here?
Well, that's my job.
Well,
I'm
what
here.
is it you want?
You need to. Well, it needs to be paid.
Well, we don't have any
Okay.
money.
We don't get a lot of High Court writs where the debts are regarding the funeral. It can make your job difficult because that grieving process can go on for some considerable length of time. It's emotionally charged before you get there. You need to deal with the debt. They need to face up to the fact they need to deal with the debt. And that can take some time in getting their head round to it.
Del and Brian now have to work with the couple to get the matter resolved.
Do you appreciate how distressing this is for us?
Look, this situation wasn't incurred by us, okay? Now, at the end of the day, the gentleman who you have your dispute with has a business to run, okay? Right?
Yeah,
so therefore...
Karen, amounts of money.
So-
I'm going to get
Should it cost £4,000 to bury a fucking human being?
All right. Now he has a business to run, just like anyone else trying to earn a living. Now I don't know what the dispute is, but I've heard your side. There were two sides to everything.
Karen, I want to get this sorted so you can get your treatment.
I'm not going now.
pay?
paying what we can.
Which is what?
It's already been agreed, £5.
No, it hasn't been agreed. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. He hasn't agreed that at all.
It's because my mother died of cancer. We were caring for her for 2 years. And it was a very devastating time, and I lost my job because I was so ill. This is why you are here, and how disgusting this country is now that you harass disabled people.
Your argument is not with us.
I don't want to speak to you anymore.
Fine, don't.
You people are so disgusting. Why don't you get a real job?
But we're doing our job.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Get a proper job where you contribute
We're doing our job.
rather than actually harassing people.
Well, are we shouting at you?
Debtors will use a high amount of emotion to deflect from having to pay a debt or to even acknowledge the debt. They're in that emotional cycle. They don't want to accept it, or they're not in a position to deal with it. Unfortunately, it doesn't change the fact that they owe the money. The bottom line is you've incurred a debt.
Bullies to try and intimidate
Not at all.
a disabled woman.
Not at all.
For money.
Do you know what this is
She
about?
couldn't afford to pay
Then
because
why
her
did
mother
you-
fucking died with no money, and I had to pay £3 for a funeral. I haven't got £3. You're making me ill.
I'm not making you
Stress triggers off my illness,
Why
and
am I
now I'm
here?
probably not going to be able to walk for 3
Why?
days because of you.
Okay,
people.
why are we here?
You don't
Or
understand. Go
haven't?
and fucking research fibromyalgia.
No, I don't.
And
I'm
you'll find out that actually stress causes such trauma.
Brian and Dell now have a dilemma. They're duty-bound to execute the writ. But with no offer of payment looking likely, they must start to look for assets they can seize, despite the sensitivity of the situation.
Just made some inquiries. There's a driver vehicle around the back here, a black and white vehicle. Just want to make some inquiries with it.
The agents have found Karen's car. Brian calls for a vehicle check.
I need to do HPI check on a vehicle.
If the car is free of finance, its value would more than cover the nearly £2,000 debt. But as Karen is disabled, they need to check whether this is the right course of action.
We'd have to look at all the circumstances before making that type of decision, particularly if it's their only means of getting to and from hospital or other medical facilities. So it's not an easy one, but their attitude don't make things easy to resolve. So.
Minutes later, Brian hears back about the vehicle check.
Yeah, it's coming up as a mobility vehicle. Okay, no, that's fine. Bye. So there's obviously a disability issue here. She's getting carer's allowance. She's got a mobility vehicle. She has vulnerability issues, in my view. She didn't seem vulnerable when she's standing there screaming and shouting, but we have to take into consideration what they're telling us.
With no offer of payment and no goods to seize, the agents have no choice but to walk away empty-handed for now. They leave a copy of the writ for Karen. If she doesn't pay within a month, the agents will be back. It's been a stressful case for everyone concerned.
There was that emotional cycle that we couldn't get through. We couldn't communicate. It was very, very hard. It's a difficult situation. We understand that. We're stereotyped as individuals who are, difficult, but we're not.
I feel like there are so many disabled people in this country at the moment that aren't getting the support they need. And to top it all off, if somebody suddenly lost their job, how are they going to be able to afford to pay ridiculous amounts of money? I'm sorry, but I want to go back to court. I'm going to get a legal subpoena and I'm going to try and find a way to fight this, all of this. And when they see our incomings and outcomings, they will know that we can't actually afford to pay more than what we suggested in the first place.
Nearly 60% of UK businesses face some sort of debt, and 99% of these are small or medium-sized enterprises. More than 1 in 3 small business owners draws less than £100 income each month, leaving them with a constant struggle to stay on top of their finances. (8:30 a.m. Sleaford, Lincolnshire. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are chasing a debt of nearly £5,000 owed by the owner of a computer repair business.
And we're going to visit Mr. Philip Brace.
Mr. Brace?
This morning. And Mr. Brace needs to pay us £4,747.58.
The debt is for unpaid rent. Mr. Brace's landlord has escalated the case to the High Court to get his money back quickly.
You've done that before, haven't you? 18. 16.
It opens at 9 o'clock.
Hey, someone's coming, mate.
Hello there, sorry, okay. We're after Mr. Brace.
That's me.
Mr. Brace, my name's Mr. McCracken, this is my colleague Mr. Victor. We're High Court enforcement agents from Direct Collection Bailiffs Limited. We've got a High Court writ, sir, to execute to the value of £4,747.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Are you able to make payment, sir?
At the moment, no, I'm not.
Alright, okay, because we are instructed to remove goods, sir, unless payment can be made.
What's the debt about?
Well, it's unpaid rent.
Rent. For this property?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but basically, I've been having problems with the landlord anyway in here because he was supposed to have come in and sorted out some damp and sorts of rubbish for this place.
Right.
He's never turned up, so I've basically sort of stopped paying the rent, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff in here, obviously being electrical stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That will get damaged with all the debt. I must admit, I'm not making any money out of the place.
Right.
Thing is, you say make a payment, but it'd just be like, excuse my French, pissing in the ocean. You know what I mean? It's not going to make a great deal of difference.
Mr. Brace has run the business for 3 years. He claims he's fallen on hard times, but Vic wants to dig deeper.
But you did say earlier you stopped paying rent because you weren't happy with some of the things, so you didn't stop. But you told us you stopped rent because you can't afford to pay rent. You told us you stopped rent because there was problems with the building, etc., etc., etc. So
yeah, that's fine.
Are we gonna go around in circles? Or are we gonna be honest with each other here? Because
I'm being honest. I stopped rent because
one story here.
I couldn't afford it, and two, bad situation and bits and pieces. So, but it's a combination of both. I'm being straight with you. I'm being honest with you. I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I can't pay. Simple as that.
Mr. Brace has made his position clear, but the agents still need to try and settle that today, one way or another.
I need to make you aware, you do remove, it goes up to £5,611. And if the goods don't get, this is the worst case scenario, if the goods don't fetch the total amount outstanding, then there will be a statutory demand issue. Okay, so it is important that you try and get this resolved.
A statutory demand is a written warning from a creditor. It states that if you pay your debt or come to another arrangement, they could start court proceedings to make you bankrupt. The pressure is on. Mr. Brace must now raise the funds or risk losing his entire livelihood. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were in Sleaford, Lincolnshire, trying to recover a debt of nearly £5,000 for unpaid rent from a computer repairs shop.
Are you able to make payments, sir?
At the moment, no, I'm not.
Right.
Owner Philip Brace said his business was failing.
I can't pay. Simple as that.
Now the agent's only option is to seize goods to try and cover the debt.
We are instructed to remove goods, sir, unless payment can be made.
I can point out the bits that belong to customers and that belong to my son-in-law.
We need to see proof of that, sir.
Well, unfortunately...
Well, if you can't show us proof today, everything will get removed and stored for 7 days. If you can't produce proof of after 7 days, it will get sold at public auction.
That lot up there, as well, is mine.
Yeah.
A lot of these need repairing.
There's plenty of IT equipment in the shop. But there's a problem. The value of the broken stock doesn't come close to covering the £5,000 debt.
You should get at least 50 quid for each.
No. I can tell you that now. No, you won't. I can tell you that now, and I'm not an auctioneer. Because whoever's going to buy that at auction does not know if that is working or not, so they pay scrap value, which is a fiver. When you walk into a business and you can see they are struggling to trade or to make a living, clearly that makes it more difficult for us to collect on that specific case because there's nothing of value to remove.
With nothing of value worth seizing in the shop, Stuart changes tactics. The writ is in Mr. Brace's name, so his personal goods are also liable.
We'd have to go to your home address as well and take control from goods there as well. Because obviously it's in your name personally.
What would be the minimum amount that I would have to pay now? Because no doubt you'll probably say it's the whole lot.
Well, we instructed to collect the balance, which is the whole lot, obviously.
That's fair enough, I understand that.
2,200 would be the minimum.
I can't physically pull £2,000 out of my back pocket to hand it over to you.
Yeah.
I've got a vehicle at home. Yes, it's under my name, you can have that as well.
What's the vehicle, sir?
It's a Skoda estate.
Hi John, can I give you HPI, mate?
I'll be honest with you, can help snap.
No problem. Cheers, John. See you later. Bye.
The office tells Stuart the broken down Skoda is virtually worthless. The agents try once more to get Mr. Brace to come up with an offer of payment.
Is anyone who can help you raise funds? Make a payment?
I've been trying. At the end of the day, I'll just have to close my business down. It's as simple as that.
Which we don't really want to do.
Look, I could take you down to my bank and I can get you a balance of my account. And if there's 100 quid in there, I'll be surprised. That's how bad the business will be. I've been living on borrowed time.
The agents have run out of options. So Stuart throws Mr. Brace a lifeline.
What we'll do is I'll give you 24 hours to see what you can do.
To be honest with you, there's no way I can raise it.
And like I said, if at all, like I said, we take control of goods from the property and here it doesn't clear the balance, then there'll be a statute demand issue, which is more or less end of the line. Bankruptcy is such a crippling situation for any individual. Your bank accounts are frozen, your credit cards are stopped, you'll lose any valuable asset. It's made publicly aware that you are now bankrupt. Your whole life comes to a stop.
Even if I went and stood on the street corners and sit on my backside, I couldn't get £2,000.
No. I don't think most people would. That'll be a good night.
I'd have to pay them rather than paying me.
Alright, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I started 3 years ago and everything seemed to be alright. Then 2 more shops have opened up in town, which, it has affected my business. And unfortunately, the economy has screwed me over. I've got into debt. It's my problem. It's not them. So at the end of the day, I've got to either go and pay to become bankrupt and just shut my business down and go and get a proper job.
Mr. Brace has 24 hours to come up with more than £2,000. If he doesn't pay, the agents will be back.
I think he's given up. He's given up on himself.
He's just plodding along day to day, isn't he? He said he is waiting for us, and I think he genuinely was.
Next time, Stuart and Vic get the runaround at a second-hand car dealer's.
This is stolen.
No, my arm could have been under that wheel.
and the agents meet a woman who won't face up to the truth.
I'm saying to you, that is not my vehicle, so why are you removing it?
I reckon that's her.
While Del and Dale try to track down a debt dodger.
There he is, there he is, there he is, there he is. Look down, look down, look down. He's clued up. He's not a stupid man.
And it's Paul Connolly doing the chasing down next on Channel 5. He's after those at the centre of insurance scams in brand new series Undercover, Nailing the Fraudsters.
What happens when you get into debt?
I'll do what I want. I will punch you clean through that window.
And you can't
You think you can tear my family apart?
or won't pay it back.
I can't pay you. I can't pay you.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits,
You bugger! Get out of here! Or somebody's gonna get hurt.
dealing with desperate debtors in dramatic situations.
I'm not getting irate for any other reason than your van is on my drive.
We meet the people who are losing their homes
I haven't been sleeping or anything because I've been worried about all of this.
and their possessions.
That's fine, because I just list everything, I'm going to take it.
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay,
Get your hands off of me.
they'll take it away. Research has shown that almost 60% of UK small and medium-sized building firms don't always receive the full amount they invoice for, forcing many to reclaim the balance through the courts. Hundreds of thousands of small firms have to write off unpaid bills, putting them under financial pressure. High Court enforcement agent Stuart McCracken and trainee Ian Taylor travel all over England and Wales, seizing goods and collecting debts. It's 8:15 a.m. and they're on their way to Blackpool to collect nearly £3,500 owed by builder Jonathan Smith to a dissatisfied client. The client claimed that Mr. Smith did not complete a job he'd been paid for.
How much does he owe?
£3,315.
That'll be interesting.
The agent's High Court powers give them the right to remove goods to cover the debt if payment isn't made. They immediately spot Mr. Smith's work van and a car in the driveway.
Oh, what we got? A 4-plate van and an 08-plate Mondeo.
This job is going to be anything but straightforward.
Hello there, sir. We're after Jonathan.
Speaking.
Jonathan, hello. My name is Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent from Direct Collection Bailiffs Limited. We're here to execute a writ, sir. The total amount of £3,315.
What happened was, it went to court, and the court never sent me a letter.
Right, okay.
So I've written back to the court, because I couldn't afford to pay the £250.
Yeah.
To put it aside.
Right, okay. Well, at the moment it's still active, which means that we're here to collect the balance in full or remove goods, sir. So you need to see what you can do to try and raise some funds.
The only thing I've got is 200 cash, that's all I've got.
Right, it won't be enough, sir. So like I said, we will have to take control of goods. If we do have to remove goods, sir, sorry to say, it goes up to £4,062.
Well, the thing is, I can't pay it, that's the end of the...
Okay.
As Mr. Smith can't pay, the active High Court writ means that Stuart has the right to seize any of his assets to cover the debt. With their possessions now at risk, Mr. Smith's wife intervenes.
You've got a job to do, we get that, right? But you're not looking at our position. All you do is you still
there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do.
We've got nothing to do. That's it.
If we do take control of goods, to a certain extent, wouldn't be the end of it. For example, there's extra charges, storage charges, etc., etc.
Okay. What I'm saying is, there's no money.
No.
So you'll have to put me in jail.
Yeah,
that's the only way to do it. Don't be getting upset now.
It's not fair on the kids, it's disgusting.
They've got exams as well.
That's exams and you're doing this to these.
I'm not doing it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's an appropriate time though, you know, with kids in the morning.
It is what it is, I'm afraid. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? Just get out of the house, do what you've got to do. Just get out of the house. I can't stand this. It is what it is.
I'll tell you what you want. I'm not particularly bothered now because you're upsetting the kids. And
I'm not upsetting the kids, sir. Yeah.
I've got no money to give you.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Okay, so we have to do our job, which is taking control of goods.
Job then. Come on, let's get you to school. Come on.
I think the single most hardest thing about this job is when kids get involved. It's not their choice, it's not their fault, they're just in the face of it, I suppose. And when you've got a family that want to protect the children, it can be quite emotional.
It's a sensitive situation, but the agents are duty-bound to stay in the house until the case is resolved. To avoid causing further distress, Stuart and Ian decide to wait until the children have left for school before taking further action.
You're looking vacant.
So there's nothing I can do. Okay.
You know how kids are so stressed over these exams at the minute? Well, just have a bit of compassion, for goodness sake. Well, just say, okay,
what do you want me to do?
Step outside.
No, I can't do that, I'm afraid.
How can you do it?
It's an unpaid high court rate.
Have you got no compassion whatsoever?
Just go and sit down.
You're absolute arsehole.
With the children now on their way to school, Ian calls for a finance check on the two vehicles in the driveway.
Hi James, it's Ian. Can you put me through to someone for HPI check, please? Cheers. Right. Both vehicles are free of finance. The debt's kind of around about £3,500, and between the two, they're worth about £3,000. So it's not far off the full amount, really. So it is worth our time taking them.
Makes your job harder when there's kids involved, because no kid really wants to see it, really. It's enforcement agents threatening to remove goods. But it is what it is. We've got a writ to collect. Let's just hope they can raise something, so we can get this matter resolved.
Both vehicles have now been seized. 30 minutes later, Mr. Smith returns. Stuart gives him another chance to pay.
Is there anything you can do?
Anything. I've just had to send my daughter in bits. Do you know that feels? Do you know how that feels? In front of all the parents. Do you know how it feels? Just on the verge. Believe me. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
This simple debt recovery has become emotionally charged. With Mr. Smith refusing to speak to the agents, will they ever get the £3,500 they came for? Stuart McCracken and Ian Taylor were in Blackpool to collect nearly £3,500 owed by a builder.
Hello there, sir. We're after Jonathan.
Speaking.
Mr. Smith claimed he was trying to appeal his case.
So I've written back to the court because I couldn't afford to pay the £250 to put it aside.
Right, okay. Well, at the moment it's still active.
He said he couldn't pay.
I've got no money to give you. Simple as that. You'll have to put me into jail.
Yeah,
that's the only way to do it.
Concerned that the children had seen it all, tempers boiled over.
You know, feels! Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Now with Mr. Smith shut in the kitchen, Ian tries to reason with his wife.
Any money paid today is held by our company for 14 days, which gives the chance.
Honestly, we've only got £200. If I knew, honestly, we had the money, I'd do it. Of course I would. I haven't got it.
Then Mr. Smith re-emerges.
There's nothing I can do.
There must be something.
There's nothing.
I swear to God.
Have you got anything?
Nothing.
I'm not
I don't have anything.
We've been made bankrupt before, right? So we have nothing.
It's one of those, so if you can't pay anything, the goods will have to be removed.
So you take the works van?
Yeah, that'll be removed as well.
Take me van, that's it. I'm screwed. Completely and utterly screwed.
Yep.
So there's no money coming in from anywhere, so you can come back as many times as you want.
Yeah.
But once it's all gone, you can't have anything, can you? So it's wasting your time, the court's time, everybody else's time.
When we see somebody's livelihood or tools of the trade, we have to assess up, are they going to be able to work after we take control of the vehicle? Are they going to be able to earn any money once we take control of that vehicle? Or will that vehicle clear the balance? But we got to put our emotions to the side and weigh up, is this going to be the correct thing to do or not?
I don't know what I can say to you. That's all I can do. I've got nobody who's got any money. That is my livelihood outside. Without that, then kids don't eat, do they? Simple as that.
I'll make a call, see what I can do.
With Mr. Smith's financial situation now clear, Stuart calls the office.
They've got nothing, mate. He's smashed up the kitchen to pieces, the holes in the wall and everything. So I reckon if he had any money, mate, he would have paid us. No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Living on the breadline here, I think.
Mr. Smith maintains that he had to stop work on the building job because the claimant refused to pay for all the work needed.
There was problems with the property, leaks, everything else, and it was all adding up to the stage where he'd used all his money. So I turned around and said, look, you can't go on anymore. That's it. You either pay some more money or the job don't commence. That was it then. It stemmed from there. That's because you've got a bit of that. You can just go to court and pay all this. I can't afford to put cases aside all the time. I'm an everyday person, me. That's it. Go out to work, if there's work there, and that's it. We've got no luxuries. You know what I mean? The kids haven't been on holiday for 3 years. And if we do go away, it's only down south. Got 200 quid cash, that's it.
Stuart decides to throw the family a lifeline.
Right, what I've recommended the best thing to do is we do what they call a control goods agreement, which means everything stays, put it on for a 7-day hold, so it gives you a chance to speak to the court. If it does get set aside, it's the end of the matter. If it doesn't get set aside, it means sadly that we will have to come back.
That's fair.
Okay, but at least it gives you 7 days. So I'll just do the paperwork, guys, and we'll leave you to get on with the rest of your day, alright?
The controlled goods agreement means that Mr. Smith now has 7 days to either pursue his appeal with the courts or pay the £3,315 and save his belongings.
He comes across as a guy that if he genuinely had the money, he would have sorted it out, so he wouldn't want to put his kids through that. He's gone to court, he's done the right thing. If it turns out that it swings in his favour, that's great for him and his family. But if it goes against him, it means we've got to go through all this again in 7 days. In the nicest possible way. I've still got a job to do and I've still got a writ to execute.
A report reveals that last year, 80% of UK companies were kept waiting for at least a month or longer to get invoices paid. It's estimated that more than 40,000 small and medium-sized businesses are owed more than £1 million in unpaid bills. High Court enforcement agents Delroy and Dale Anglin are in Ilford, Essex. The father and son team have a writ to collect a debt of over £2,500 owed by Mr. Samsul Ahmed to a frozen food company.
Oh, it's that one there, the 04.
If Samsul can't or won't pay today, the writ allows the agents to seize goods to offset the debt.
Hello, my name's Dan Anglin, High Court Enforcement Agent. Looking for Mr. Samsul Ahmed. Does he live here, yeah?
No.
He doesn't live here? Well, he's not home. Dan Anglin, High Court Enforcement Agent.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a Mr. Samsul Ahmed.
Yeah, why?
Is he here?
Why?
I've got a High Court writ against him.
About what?
Well, what relation are you to him, so that we know?
His son.
Your son?
Yeah.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 19. What's the money for? Because
I can't tell you until I've spoken to him.
Basically, what it is, my dad's not in the country at the moment, innit? But, however, when he comes back, I'll give you a shot.
Who's this gentleman here then?
It's my cousin brother. He's like my cousin brother.
Alright. I don't want to be difficult, but can we see some ID then? Because we don't know who's here.
Let me get my driving license.
Yeah, go on, man. It's cool, man.
Immediately, the agents are suspicious that the older man is the debtor.
It's my cousin brother, yeah? It's cousin brother.
Yeah.
When the son comes out to get his ID from his car, the agents take the opportunity to enter the property. They need to find out who the older man really is.
Is he your dad or uncle or something?
Yeah, that's his name. Don't I remember what I'm saying? Yeah? Don't I remember what I'm saying?
How long's your dad been out of the country?
His dad's dying, basically. My granddad's dying.
Right.
So he went on an emergency holiday with him.
Is he contactable?
I haven't got a Bangladesh number.
Does anyone else have a number for him?
No, I don't.
And there's no way of contacting him in an emergency, no?
The man who claims he's not the debtor, Samsul Ahmed, steps in to back up the younger man.
Mr. Samsul is not living here. His name nothing here. Because that house is his wife's name.
Which house are we talking about here?
This house.
It might be his wife's house, but he must stay
But
here.
he's not sitting here. But some problem, there is between.
Okay, well, he must stay somewhere because we've been up front with you, yeah? So you need to be up front with us. When people are under pressure, when you're speaking to them as an enforcement agent, the lies they come out with are quite laughable, but you've got to bite your bottom lip, really, because they've been quite serious, because they want you to believe them.
Dale changes tactics. He hopes that putting the pressure on will flush out the man's real identity.
Because we've got a high court writ, even without him here, it means we'll have to take stuff today to cover the bill if it's not paid.
Most of this stuff is on mine though, so you can't...
Well, you need to provide receipts and the card that paid for everything.
With the threat of belongings being removed from the house, the older man gets his solicitor on the phone.
Totally incorrect, but
Dale doesn't understand the Bengali conversation.
We speak to his solicitor.
His solicitor, yeah?
Yeah. He's dealing.
Hello?
Our client is not here at the moment, and out of blue, we can't just come and try to impose that action.
Letters were sent prior to our attendance today, so obviously we have let you know that.
We can understand, but in between there should be some communication regards to our client.
There has been letters, but we haven't had any response, which is why we're here. As it stands, it needs to be paid.
Well, they will not pay you anything right now because
Okay, no worries.
disputed 2 years.
That's fine, no worries. When there's a language barrier, it's really difficult for us to know what's going on. They can hitch up a big plan and secure their story right there in front of us, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to work a bit harder.
Although the agents suspect the older man is the debtor, he still claims he's not Samsul Ahmed. Dell cranks up the pressure again to try to get to the truth.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk around your house and I'm going to start listing things.
Okay. Now you listing, yeah? Then how many days you gonna give us?
I'm listing to remove.
Yeah, I know.
You need to understand that.
Remove today.
I will remove today and now. If we have to remove, it's going to go up. We're going to have to take a lot of stuff.
Can you do me one favor, please?
There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, I can tell you something, yeah? Give me a couple of days time, yeah? Couple of days time, and give me your contact number, yeah?
No.
If you give me a couple of days time, give me 1 week, only 1 week, yeah? And I can tell you, yeah? Honest to God, I gonna tell you, give me 1 week time, yeah? And I gonna do something, sort it out, please.
The older man now appears to be taking responsibility for the debt, but he still hasn't revealed his true identity.
Please. Yeah, because I don't have any choice.
Okay, that's right, okay.
As Dell starts to make an inventory of goods,
That TV's my uncle's, by the way.
Dale tries again to establish if the men really are father and son, and that the older man is the debtor.
Do me a favour, can you ring his phone? Just so I can close off my suspicions here. Can you ring his phone now?
Yeah.
Dale asks Samsul's son to call the older man's phone.
He's using my dad's British number.
He's using your dad's number?
He's using my dad's British number.
Oh, that's your dad's phone?
That's my dad's British number.
Right. I'll tell you what makes sense to me is that that's your dad, and you man obviously need to save face.
No.
So acting like I'm a fool.
Yeah.
It's cool. So that's not an issue. I understand. Initially you lied, so now you got to keep with that. Yeah. When you went to call him, and suddenly he's got your dad's phone. So that's your dad, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why you done it.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't need to sit down. Listen, it's your house. I understand. Hear me. I don't mind.
At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, let's just roll on, get this money, so we can do what we got to do.
Finally, the older man confirms he is Samsul Ahmed, the debtor.
I apologize.
Listen, you don't need to apologise. I understand your reasons for doing it.
Samsul, listen. If you do not pay me, all the property that I've listed to be removed will be removed.
With their lies exposed, Samsul and his son Newman suddenly start to discuss paying the debt.
If I'm a friend of the Kiamini, kill after payback for after who? Do you guys I'm a friend of the Kiamini? Do you guys I'm a friend of the Kinimo? I'm not going to pay him back. Who said I'm going to kill a full killer? I'm not killing like go. After Boston, after the after possibly I say, I'm a friend of the Zaitam, do you have a phone of me hospital? أخذ في دبل أخذ من كده في دبل ما قرب لي فايسة أمي كده أمر فرناني أمر كده لقبو.
Newman leaves to try and raise the £2,500 owed by his father. But if he fails to come back with an amount which will satisfy the claimant, the agents will start seizing goods.
They're trying to get the money. We're happy to accept half of it. If they can get half of it, we'll sort out some form of arrangement and take it from there. But I want half of this money.
"30 minutes later, Newman arrives home with cash.
1,200.
Newman has managed to raise nearly half the debt. It's enough for the agents to give Samsul Ahmed time to pay the balance.
You need to print your name there, signature.
But if he doesn't pay the remaining £1,300 within 14 days, the agents will be back.
We just have to persevere. And as you can see from the beginning, he had no money. None. He couldn't even raise...
He wasn't even in the country.
He wasn't even in the country, as he, you know. We've ended up with him identifying himself as the debtor.
Apologising for lying.
Apologising for lying. Asking us to trust him further while he provided £1,200. But well done, son.
I'll teach you everything I know one day.
It's been a successful job for father and son team Del and Dale. But in Stuart and Ian's next case...
My husband's asking, will you take part of payment?
It needs to be the full balance.
They meet a woman whose husband's debt is sending her over the edge.
So that's why we need the balance. Surely you can understand that.
I was fucking born yesterday,
Why?
twat.
Debt in the UK's farming industry has risen by almost £1 billion over the past 5 years. Last year, 1 in 5 farms generated a loss, and nearly 20% faced major financial problems. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and trainee Ian Taylor are in Corwin, Wales, to collect nearly £3,000 owed by farmer Dylan Hughes to a supplier.
Tell you what's gorgeous around here though, isn't it?
Yep, very green, isn't it?
Yeah, sheep everywhere.
Of course, the sheep everywhere, mate, it's Wales.
If Mr. Hughes can't or won't pay, the agents have the power to remove goods to offset the debt today.
It's farm here.
Yeah, looks like it. Right, let's go and have a chat, eh?
Stuart immediately spots an asset.
Do you HPI on that, mate?
Yep.
While Ian checks whether the vehicle is free of finance, Stuart goes to find Mr. Hughes. No one appears to be in.
On finance? Okay, alright, thanks a lot.
What's up, mate?
It's on finance.
Is it?
With the van on finance, the agents can't seize it. They go in search of other assets.
There's a truck here. Done the finance on that, see what it says. When we come to a farm, we sort of rubbing our hands together to a certain extent. 9 times out of 10, the farm machinery, at least one of them's not going to be on finance, and it's worth quite a lot of money. Like a tractor is £60,000, a quad bike is £5,000, so it's a gold mine.
Free of finance? Okay, just a couple more bits in here. There's a JCB telehandler.
The Scania's free of finance, so we're going to put notice of enforcement on it.
Telehandler in the quad?
Yeah.
Both free of finance.
Although the value of the assets seized are worth more than the £2,700 debt, the agents hope the threat of removing them will prompt payment. And as the agents wait at the gates, someone arrives home.
We're after Mr. Hughes.
He's not here.
Right, okay, you able to get him on the phone?
What for?
It's an outstanding High Court writ.
Let me see the dress.
I can't show you anything because you're not Dylan Hughes, I'm afraid. But we have taken control of the Scania lorry, the JCB and the quad.
He doesn't own them.
Who owns them?
Dion Hughes, my son.
Right.
My husband doesn't own them.
Okay, so we need to see some documentation.
Do you want to speak to him on the phone?
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
Hold on.
Is this him, is it? Hello, is that Mr. Hughes? Mr. Hughes, good afternoon. My name is Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We've been sent with regards to an outstanding High Court writ, sir, for the balance of £2,736. Are you able to make a payment?
I can't make a payment today.
Right, because we've got to take control of goods, you see.
This has been a dispute for about 2 months more.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't even know who the claimant is. We simply get a High Court writ to come and execute, as you can probably understand. The fact is, we'd need the balance paid before we remove any goods. So you need to clear the balance. If not, we'll have to remove the goods today. That's why we're here.
But I need to prove. Let me see that.
Hang on, spare one sec. He's still talking at the moment. Just spare one sec. Unbelievable.
They put down the land which you don't own. They put the teleporter down which you don't own, and they put the quad bike down which you don't own.
We need to see some documentation.
I'll go and get you the documentation.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, well, I'll be coming in, so don't worry about it.
Stay there for now.
No, I'll be coming in, so I've already been in, so I can come in again.
You're not supposed to.
Oh, of course I am.
Mr. Hughes' wife comes out with the logbooks for the vehicles.
The issue we've got, this document is not proof of ownership.
Well,
so there's nothing we can...
don't own them. Because my husband, there's nothing at all on the farm here anymore.
Okay, previous registered keeper, Dylan Hughes.
Yeah, because he's got
so
everything for my son.
The documents aren't proof that Mr. Hughes no longer owns the vehicles. His wife gets him back on the phone. Mr. Hughes now makes an offer.
My husband's asking, will you take part payment?
It needs to be the full balance. It needs to be the full balance because we're here with an active High Court writ.
So that you can get your wages. So
not to do my wages, I'm salaried, thank you very much.
Renew payment.
Yeah.
From what I can understand, if you make an offer of payment, you can do it.
No, not at all. We've got an active High Court writ and these goods will clear the balance, so we're not going to accept a part payment.
These goods will clear the balance?
Yeah, of course.
That fucking lot is worth more than the
Exactly,
bill.
exactly. So we need the full balance.
Yeah. The fucking three?
Yeah. So that's why we need the balance. Surely you can understand that.
Fucking gone yesterday, you twat.
With the rural community, it's mostly run by families. It's been passed down from generation to generation. They're either going to work with you or work against you. There's no in between. And we as High Court enforcement agents have got to work on that and make them aware that we're there to do our job, and that's what's going to happen.
Mrs. Hughes now calls her son, who she claims owns the vehicles.
He's the registered keeper, not us.
Exactly. But who owns it?
He owns them.
But he's only the registered keeper. Any money is held for 14 days. So if you've got any issue with it, you can apply for a refund.
We haven't got the money to pay that.
Oh, you'll need to find it then, or else we'll remove the goods.
How much is it?
At the moment, okay.
It's not going to be any more than after fucking moment.
Well, if we remove goods, it'll go up because there's recovery charges.
How much it is
Yeah, I'm finding out for you now. Alright, just calm down. It is 2007.
Hold on a minute, hold on.
There you go.
You'll speak to it.
Alright, okay. Hello. Yeah, the total amounts are at the moment is 2,732.87. If we start removing goods, sir, it's going to cost more because we'll have to bring recovery. There's recovery charges, the storage costs for 7 days, etc., etc.
Do you take cash?
We do take cash, yes.
You got a fucking way waiting along.
Right. Okay.
That's the simple deal.
Okay. How can you pay it? Will it be in cash? Will it be debit card? Or is there any way that you can transfer money? Yeah. All right.
The threat of removing the farm's vehicles prompts Mrs. Hughes' son to offer to help pay some of his father's debt. But it's not enough for Stuart.
He says he hasn't got the money. He's got 1,500 quid on a debit card now, which he can pay. But at the moment, I'm not accepting that.
But then Mrs. Hughes has a final offer for the agents.
You know what it's like. I've got debts up to like that with council tax.
Yeah.
I've lost my land. I don't want to borrow money from my son. I can pay £2,000 now with a card.
Yeah.
And I can pay the rest on the 1st of June.
On the 1st of June.
With a card.
The card. Yeah. Okay.
I'm desperate.
Okay.
This place here is more hassle to us than anything. My husband's having a fucking nervous breakdown in there, like. If he'd have his own way, we wouldn't be living here. He wants to leave the country because he's had enough.
It seems as if the family farm has hit hard times.
No, I'll ring them now.
Stuart calls the office to see whether the £2,000 offer will be accepted.
We got a proposal, mate, yeah, if anyone's free. Cheers, John. Speak to you shortly. Bye-bye. Yeah.
The claimant has accepted Mrs. Hughes' offer.
I apologise for shouting.
No, don't shout. No, don't
apologise. It's just so much chicken.
No, don't apologise. It's fine. Understood.
And I do thank you for taking this, the offer, because...
You'd be stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Stuart puts the payment through.
That's gone through. Sorted. Right, there's your card.
Right.
Take it easy, all right?
Yeah.
That's it. All right. See you later.
The case is resolved for now, but if the balance isn't paid off by the agreed date, the agents will be back.
It looks like she's trying to keep the family together, to be completely honest, and I think she's at the end of her tether now. Shame, it just shows you how much pressure some people put on their shoulders to try and keep the family together, just to keep the bills getting paid.
Around 16 million people in the UK rent their home, and 1 in 4 of them live with debt problems. 59% of households in rented accommodation have less than £1,000 in savings. High Court enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin are in Croydon to collect a debt of nearly £10,000 owed in unpaid rent.
We're going to see Mr. Egiraze Oyibarumi and Mr. Ejiro Ugwojabo. £9,993.48.
Rent arrears.
Mr. Oyuborume is the tenant in arrears, but Mr. Ubujabo signed as a guarantor should his friend default on his rent. As the tenant has not settled the debt, the agents are instructed to collect from the guarantor. They immediately spot an asset they could remove if guarantor Mr. Ubujabo can't or won't pay.
That covers it, wouldn't it?
Nobody appears to be in, but the agents do have the power to seize assets even when the debtor isn't at home.
What I may do now is just get a clamp out and wriggle it about, because they might be looking and they see we're going to clamp the car, they come running, "Ooh, what are you doing, what are you doing?" I am partial to a nice car. If I see a nice car on the driveway, my eyes light up. It's an asset. It's something I can recoup money for the claimant. So I try and dig into that first.
But before it can be seized, Brian calls the office to check whether the car is free of finance.
No finance.
That's what we like to hear. The car's got no finance on it, so we can take control of it. The reason we take this action is because we don't want the asset to go anywhere. That could be gone tomorrow in an hour's time. We'll never see it again. People may not agree with that, but if you're owed £10,000, you'd want us to take those steps for you.
Brian's tactics pay off. Somebody appears at the window.
Oh, hello. Would you like to come and open the door, please?
Why?
We're High Court Enforcement. We'd like to have a quick word.
High Court Enforcement?
Correct.
Are you taking someone to court?
Well, no, we're not. Who are you, madam?
Well, I live here.
And what's your name? Do you want to come and open the door?
Okay, so my theory's correct. Clamping the car's got what we wanted. Want someone in, so clearly watching us.
Excuse me, what is this about?
I don't know who you are, madam. I've identified myself to you. We'd like to speak to your parents if they're in.
They're not in.
Could you get them on the phone so we can speak with them, then?
Yeah, I have my mum on the phone.
Well, if you come down, we'll be able to speak to her.
Okay, can we have their number then?
Fine.
Yeah, I'll give you her number.
Thank you.
I'm not coming down.
Okay, no problem.
Brian calls Mr. Ubujabo's wife, Mercy.
Hello, Mercy. My name's Brian O'Shaughnessy. I'm the High Court Enforcement Agent outside your home.
What's the problem?
It's for your husband, the gyro. There's a High Court writ.
Yeah. Okay, he's out of the country. When I get home tonight, I'll tell him. Can he call you back tomorrow?
No. Whose vehicle's on your drive? Who does that belong to?
It's his.
Okay. The debt needs to be paid now, or we have to take control of the vehicle. We have to remove it. I don't really want to do that.
Okay. If you wait there, let me see if I can make an international call there.
No problem at all. I appreciate that, Mercy.
And see what I can do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Bye.
If a debtor isn't in the country, there's a really slim chance of me collecting the outstanding monies. They're not here. I can't get hold of them. It doesn't mean we can't. Just to dig a little deeper.
Minutes later, the debtor, Mr. Ejiro Ubujabo, calls.
There he is. Hello, is that Ejiro?
Yeah, what's happening?
My name's Brian O'Shaughnessy. I've got a High Court writ in my possession. A county court judgment was made against you and a gentleman.
Wrote a letter to the court that after 1 year, I do not intend to continue to be a guarantor.
Problem we've got, Ejiro, I appreciate and respect what you're saying, okay? As it stands now, the claimant who is owed the rent and you being the guarantor has been made liable. Now, because there's a High Court writ been made against you, the High Court writ is still live and you need to pay it.
I am right now in Nigeria. Why don't I make contact with you as soon as I come back and we'll resolve the issues?
I need to collect payment today, Ejiro. I understand you're out of the country, okay? You can make payment via debit card, or you can make an internet payment.
No, it wouldn't be possible to do that today.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take control of your car and remove it today, okay? And then when you make the payment, then you can have it straight back, okay?
Why don't you have internet in the village? Send me the details you're sending me, let me get back to you.
Thank you very much. Let's see what happens. We've made our position very clear, so it's entirely up to him. He seems like a decent chap, a nice guy, but he's got to pay.
Brian calls for a recovery truck in case Mr. Ubujabo fails to get back to him with an acceptable offer. But then the debtor's daughter comes out of the house. She decides to move her car alongside the agent's van and blocks the road.
This situation here now, we've got a tow truck coming, and the tow truck will obviously need access. We will move, but whether she does or not, it could prove difficult.
No,
that then becomes obstruction, and we'll call the police and she could be arrested for it.
With the debtor out of the country and the asset in the driveway blocked in, will Brian and Dell ever get this case resolved? High Court Enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin were in Croydon to collect a debt of nearly £10,000 from Mr. Ejiro Ubujabo, who had acted as a guarantor on his friend's rent agreement. Both are liable for the debt.
We'd like to speak to your parents if they're in.
They're not in.
Mr. Ubujabo was out of the country.
I am right now in Nigeria. Why don't I make contact with you as soon as I come back and we'll resolve the issues?
The agents wanted payment and seized his car.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take control of your car and remove it today, and then when you make the payment, then you can have it straight back.
But the debtor's daughter decided to block the road. Now, with the recovery vehicle on its way, all the agents can do is wait to see if Mr. Ubujabo will call back to settle his debt.
It's insignificant to me. People react in different ways. She chooses to jump in a Volkswagen Polo with tinted windows and think we can't see her, but we can. Welcome to my world for an hour.
Hold the window down. Let me hear you. Hold the window down.
Suddenly, the daughter drives off. Then, Dell gets another call.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm just calling because I haven't got the money.
You don't have the money.
It's Mr. Oyuborumi, the tenant in rent arrears, for whom Mr. Ubujabo acted as a guarantor.
The High Court have directed us to come and collect the money that's outstanding or to remove goods. Now you're the other person, aren't you? So you should be paying as well.
I've got that money. Yeah, because the person called that car is in Nigeria.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen is we're going to take his car and you're going to have to pay him, aren't you? He was doing you a favour. He stood guarantor. You breached whatever agreement it is and he's been made to pay it. Now, right, do you have any money to pay me today?
Brian decides to give him an ultimatum.
How would you like to pay £11,289.48, sir?
Mr. Oyuborume says he can't pay.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. When a debtor lets down their guarantor, it's not a good thing. It's very sad. The guarantor then has the responsibility of dealing with that debt for the debtor, but they signed up to that. But ultimately, it's the debtor's debt, and they should deal with it.
An hour after Brian first spoke to her, Mr. Ubujabo's wife, Mercy, calls back.
Hello, Mercy.
Hi, Brian. Have you spoken to the actual culprit?
Yeah, he's called me, but we haven't really got anywhere with him. He can't financially pay this, so no point in continuing the conversation with him. And I think it's a really unfortunate situation for your husband that he finds himself in. He's been a good man by helping this individual out. Yeah, that's how I see it. But in the eyes of the law, he has become liable because he signed that piece of paper as guarantor.
Okay.
Thank you, Mercy. Good luck.
All right, then.
Bye now.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.
With no sign of payment from the tenant or from his guarantor, the agents have no choice but to remove Mr. Ubujabo's car. Mr. Ubujabo now has 14 days to pay, or the car will be sold at auction. Next time, Paul and Ben get a hostile welcome.
What the fuck do you want? Get out of the room! I don't want you in here!
Brian and Del meet a family in crisis.
Hey kid, what do you want?
There's nothing there to it.
And get the runaround in a garage.
The car was fucked when it came. Who are the Pistons?
Well, they're certainly not in the car.